Hello everyone, I am back with a VR. This one is, are you a real tarot reader? A VR to the lovely Rachele from Amethyst Ascension. So this one is interesting. I'm finally found the time to do it. So kind of like Rachele did, she flipped through a deck of cards while she was doing it, and I'm going to do so as well. So we're going to go ahead. There are 14 questions, and again, this tag is, are you a real tarot reader? So question number 1, do you have to know all the book meanings to be a tarot reader? If so, what book meanings? No, I would say no. You don't have to know all the book meanings. Would I say it would be beneficial to have an understanding of the system, because tarot is a system? I feel like it would be beneficial to have a basic understanding of the meanings. But when we say, do you have to know all the book meanings to be a tarot reader? There are so many books, and there are so many different meanings for each card. So there's never going to be that one book that's going to give you all the information that you ever need on the tarot. So no, you don't. I don't feel like you have to know all the book meanings to be a real tarot reader. Number 2, can you be an intuitive who uses the tarot cards and be considered a tarot reader? Well, I would hope so, because I am an intuitive who uses tarot. I am very intuitive, and I am an intuitive tarot reader. I actually label myself as that, as well as professional tarot reader. So yes, you can be an intuitive who uses the tarot cards and be a real tarot reader. Number 3, do you have to be reading for others to be a real tarot reader? Of course not. You can use the cards for just yourself, for your own clarity and guidance. You do not have to read for others to be a real tarot reader. Number 4, do you have to be a professional reader to be considered a real tarot reader? Absolutely not. Not everybody who reads tarot, who are real tarot readers, are professional tarot readers, meaning, not everybody who reads tarot makes a business out of it or has, paying clients. So, gosh, it's a beautiful card. So, no, you do not have to be a professional tarot reader to be considered a real tarot reader. Number 5, do you need to have a certification to be a real tarot reader? If so, who determines if you are certified? No, you do not have to have a certification to be a real tarot reader. I, on the other hand, did take a certification course only because I wanted that pretty certificate. And I did mine through Hay House, through Radley Valentine, Kyle Gray, Colette Baron Reed, and there was one other. It was some time ago. I can't remember the other gal's name. But no, you do not have to have certification to be a real tarot reader. Although, in my humble opinion, if you are a professional tarot reader, it's a nice little asset to have. Clients will look at that, you know, and they will feel a little more comfortable, perhaps a little more assured. But no, certification does not make you a real tarot reader. This next one, number 6. Do you need to know the Golden Dawn symbolism or astrology or Kabalistic tree to be a real tarot reader? I'm definitely going to have to say, I guess not, because I've never heard of the Golden Dawn symbolism. Maybe it's worded in another way or something. I've never heard of that. Astrology, of course, I've heard of that. I don't know much about it. And Kabalistic tree, I've never heard of that. And I am a certified professional real tarot reader. So my answer to that question is no, you don't need to know the Golden Dawn symbolism or astrology or Kabalistic, I can't even pronounce that one, really, tree to be a real tarot reader. Moving along to number 7. Do you have to know the history of tarot to be a real tarot reader? If so, what history? I don't feel like you need to know the history to be a real tarot reader. I do feel, in my opinion, it would be beneficial to know a little bit of the history of the tarot. Like myself and many other readers, we have a passion for the tarot. It's something that's very near and dear to us. So yes, we do dive into and wonder about the history, you know, when first starting out. Anyways, I did. I don't know everything there is to know, and no one's gonna ever know that. We never stop learning. It's a continuous learning journey through the tarot and many other, you know, journeys and paths and whatnot. So, do you have to know the history of tarot to be a real tarot reader? No, you don't. But again, I think it would be beneficial to, you know, want to know a little bit about what you're doing if you plan on being a real tarot reader, right? Next question. Does having a smaller or larger collection determine if you are a better or worse or real tarot reader? Absolutely not. How many card decks you have, or how little amount of card decks you have, has nothing to do with the way that you read tarot. It only has to do with, you know, whether or not you love collecting the beautiful art, which I'm one of those people. I have so many decks that I don't use. But you can have just one favorite little deck and be a real tarot reader. Number 9, do you have to read reversals to be considered a real tarot reader? In my humble opinion, absolutely not. I am a certified professional real tarot reader, and I've never read reversals ever in my life, and I do not ever plan on it. Pamela Coleman Smith didn't even read reversals. Reversals were something that were made up along the way by readers. So, no, you do not have to read reversals to be considered a real tarot reader. Number 10. Do you have to use certain techniques or customs to be considered a real tarot reader? I.e., be gifted your first deck, shuffle a certain way, or use certain spreads or no spreads? No. I feel like everyone is unique in their own way. Everyone will read and use their own, unique ways when reading. I never ever use spreads. I feel to lay down the cards is how to do it. Nothing against anybody who does read spreads. I just never got along with them. I've definitely tried some spreads here and there, and I will do so again in the near future. I've actually been looking at a book about some pretty neat spreads. So definitely something I'm going to try again. So no, there are no certain techniques or customs. You do not have to be gifted your first deck. I wasn't. I bought and purchased all of my decks in the beginning, and then of course around the holidays, family will ask me what I want for Christmas, and they will get me those decks. So no, you do not. And no, you do not have to shuffle a certain way. I feel every reader has their own unique way of shuffling. I know I do. So no, none of those are going to determine whether or not you are a real tarot reader. Moving along, number 11, do you need to read a certain way to be considered a real tarot reader? I.e., be a psychic, read with a divine communication, higher self connection, psychological, or even predictive reader? No. You can read however you like. You can read by the book meanings. You can read intuitively. You can read a little bit of both. You can, if you're psychic, you can read psychically. I feel like there are no rules. That's my biggest thing to beginners too, when beginners ask certain questions. And a lot of these questions here that Rachele has got on the list, you will see a lot of beginners asking similar to these, and I've always said there are no rules. There are no rules. And then there's, other readers who will swear by the rules. I feel like it's all your own personal preference and your own personal opinions, and definitely your own personal practice. Your practice is your own and nobody else's. And I feel like no one else can determine who you are, how you are as a reader, a psychic, a medium, or anything like that. So, moving along to number 12, can you refer to your guidebook and still be considered a tarot reader? Well, I just got this beautiful deck today that I'm showing off here. And I looked at the guidebook. I flipped one of the kings over. I can't remember which one. I flipped one of the kings over as I was getting to know the deck a little bit, and I went into the guidebook. Sure, you can go into the guidebook and be a real tarot reader. Lots of times we want to see, what the creator and publisher what their interpretations are for the cards, because like I said in earlier on, there's just so many meanings for each card. Each card has so many meanings that you'll never, have one little list of, okay, the High Priestess. You'll never be able to like make a journal of the High Priestess and put every single meaning that that High Priestess card could represent. Because there's just so many. And then if you're an intuitive reader, there's even more meanings, So, absolutely, you can you can look in your guidebook. I'm not a guidebook person, but lately when I'm getting to know a new deck, I have actually enjoyed looking in the guidebooks. And I've actually learned a few things or two, as to where if you were to come to my home and start pulling decks off my shelf, opening up the boxes and looking at the guidebook, you will see that the guidebook is the, what is it called? the, oops, my card. I got a card left in there. What is it called? Broken. This thing, gosh, it's late. It's like almost 4 in the morning here. You would notice that most of the books are just like this because they've never been opened. As for this one today, yes, I did look through it. I wanted to see a couple things. And I thought the spreads were quite interesting. And I'm a real tarot reader, so yes, you absolutely can look at your guidebook. Now, as a professional reader, I feel if you are doing a reading professionally for someone, you do not pick up that guidebook. If you're a professional reader, I would say, you don't need a guidebook. But is it okay for us to go in and, explore our guidebooks with our new decks? Absolutely. I mean, that's what they're there for. So yes, you can be a real tarot reader and look through your guidebooks. Do I feel, again, to pick up a guidebook in the middle of a professional paid client reading? Absolutely not. But other than that, go ahead and look through your guidebooks because you're still a real tarot reader. Okay, and number 13 is reading with playing cards, Lenormand, oracle cards, or Kipper, or any other cards besides tarot considered a real tarot reader. Again, I have to say, I'm a real tarot reader, and I read Lenormand, oracle, Kipper, and tarot. So usually they all come hand in hand for a lot of us. Some just love to stick with tarot. Some people just love to use oracle cards. So yeah, you wouldn't be a tarot reader if you only read oracle cards. But if you have tarot down pat and you are a real tarot reader, of course you're still going to be a real tarot reader if you're adding on Lenormand and oracle, Kipper, and other divination cards. So my answer to that is yes. Is reading with playing cards, Lenormand, oracle cards, or Kipper, or any other cards besides tarot still considered a real tarot reader? Yes. And lastly, what denotes a real tarot reader to you? So, my answer to that is a real tarot reader to me is someone who can pick up a beautiful 78 card deck named the Tarot, called the Tarot, a tarot deck, and shuffle those cards up and give accurate tarot readings, whether it be to yourself or to a client. That's what a real tarot reader is to me. And it's also someone who's genuine. A genuine, real tarot reader can pick up the 78 card deck and give accurate readings to clients, friends, or yourself. Are you a real tarot reader? Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Rachele, for doing this lovely tag. Another very fun one, girl. I hope you come up with some more because they are just so fun. I look so forward to them, and it took me like, I'm a little late, but not too late to the party. It took me a little bit of time to find the time, but thank you so much. I will link or post all of the questions down below, as well as tag Rachele from over at Amethyst Ascension and Rachele's original video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see everyone's VRs to the Are You a Real Tarot Reader tag. Take care and brightest blessings.